Well, hello guys, and welcome to another video on how to paint the Boba Fett helmet. I'm sure from what you can see in shot that the helmet looks a little different from last time where we left it off. But don't worry, we haven't gone too much ahead. I'll explain what I've done. Really not too much. It's pretty much the same stuff we did last time. So in the last video, you saw me paint the back panels. They're still there, they're just underneath the plastic bag. Same process we used when taping up the rest of the helmet. We've just done on this part now. We've also gone ahead and extended the masking around the ear cap and around this front section here. We've left the lower cheeks, I'll do this side, you can see the pip. We've left the lower cheeks, the upper mandibles and the dome unmasked. Similar process, like I said, with the panels. I've gone ahead and I've painted the helmet silver. We masked the silver up with our templates that I've provided a link to in a couple of videos back, and then we've gone ahead and painted the grey, which I believe is grey 79 off the top of my head. And that's pretty much all it is, and that's only two colours, and it does change the entire look of the helmet instantly, and it's starting to look like Boba Fett, especially with the cat scratch on here. So in this video now, I'm going to go over how I mask off the grey areas. I've already done the dome. I don't know if you can see these dark sections here. If I mask up the dome, I'm going to show how I mask up these. I do it a little different. You could, if you knock the camera, I do apologise. You can use the stencils. I have used the stencils for the silver. After that, I freehand the grey in. Obviously, you get a more accurate paint job if you use the stencils for each individual colour. But I find I get pretty good results if I just hand paint it using the reference images that I have down here. So yeah, but we're going to take a bit of a shortcut here. I'm sure you know, if you look at the Boba Fett helmets, this section here will be green and this section here is black. So we're going to take a little shortcut in that we will paint the dome green and this green without masking this section up, as it's very difficult to mask outside a curve. Masking inside a curve you can do with a bit of tape, but to mask outside a curve you have to cut little squares and individually stick them down. So with this way we'll cut a lot of time. Instead of masking all around this section to paint this green, instead we'll just paint it all green, mask this section off, then paint it black. I should cut some time down on the paint job. Speaking of masking, I found out that I believe they've discontinued the Humbrol masking fluid. So if you can get any, I suggest you stock up on it. At the moment I'm using this. This is Winsor & Newton watercolour mask. I don't like it. It dries way too clear. I much prefer the Humbrol. But it does the job nicely. I got some Humbrol arriving hopefully tomorrow, so I can get back to using that stuff, but it's pretty decent stuff. So yeah, so like I said, we're going to cheat a little bit. I've gone ahead on the other helmet. I'm just going to give you a visual reference of what we'll be doing. Let me just get it in a minute. Of what we'll be doing with the current paint job. Don't worry, I will explain how we've got to this stage. Okay, visor's coming out a little bit. Right, so basically, ignore the dome. We'll get to this in the next, when I edit it. We've painted this section green without masking this off. I've lost myself here now when I picked that helmet up. Usually most people would mask this off while painting this, but we're going to cheat. We're going to mask out the grey before we paint it. We'll paint it all green, then we'll mask off the inside arch and this section, and we'll hit it with the black. And this is hopefully what we'll get now, which I'll show you how to achieve in the next couple of videos to get this nice colour. I'll explain what colour greens we use now. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut to a nice freshly painted green helmet. Then we'll get into sorting the black out. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and painted the helmet green. This is with green 78. Like I said before, take your time with the paint job. Same as the rattle can, we usually paint the entire helmet. Nice and slow, even strokes. You'll get yourself a nice finish. And like before with the back panels, I waited till this is slightly tacky. It's dry, but it's not fully dry, if you know what I mean. Like I said earlier in the video, we weren't going to tape these upper mandibles. Instead, what we've done is we've masked out on these, as well as the green sections, the grey detail. So now, once we tape this up here and paint this black, we're going to remove the tape, and then we'll have all the details painted in. Excuse me. It should, you know, it'd save a bit of time to mask outside this curve. It's quite a difficult thing to do, and this method it bypasses that entirely. So here we go. I'll show you now how to remove the masking fluid. I know we've done it a couple of times before, but this is using this this new Winsor & Newton stuff. So let's go. I think we'll start with the dent. That's one of the most famous things with Boba Fett, isn't it? His dent. Can you see the dent nicely there? Yes, you can. Right. Wonder if this will peel as nice as the handle. Slowly remove it. Now, you'll sometimes notice, I don't know if you can see, that some of the paint will flake up. Don't touch that. It's still slightly damp, and if you start to rub it off, it could flip over, and the wet paint will touch the actual helmet, and it will stick. And on the underside of that, then you'll have a different colour, and it'll show up and it'll look terrible. So take the masking fluid off. After that, leave it. You know, a good 24 hours to dry. And then we can go back over it then, either with our finger to get it off, or we can go in with the wire wool. And then there's the dent and mask. The process you want to keep repeating. All the bits. Do the cat scratch. That's another famous bit of the helmet. Now, you'll notice that they're not very detailed inside the scratches and stuff. That's because, as the same that we did with the back panels, we're going to topically apply some of the details. Oh, this masking fluid comes off pretty nicely. Basically, I'll do a video on that of me adding all the details. It's essentially just taking the paint that we got. It's okay with this paint as it's straight from a jar. It's not a custom colour. So just take a jar of whichever colour grey it was. I think it's 79. We'll just get a brush and we'll just paint in the finer scratches. It's a lot easier to do it by a brush rather than masking out with the fluid, especially this Winsor & Newton stuff, as it's white, it dries clear. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's coming up quite nice. As you can see, we're starting to get the helmet come through. When you get to the cheek sections, the lower cheek sections, not the camera. I keep knocking the camera. I'm not very good at this. Don't remove the masking fluid from here, from the sections that are on the black. Keep this one on as well. This section we masked up here. Keep this all masked up. Don't remove the tape. Otherwise, when you try and remask it to apply the black, you might get bits of green showing through. So if you keep these all masked up like we've done before, mask this over, paint it black. Once you removed all the tape, then we'll have a nice, lovely helmet like I showed in the last clip. So I'll cut now to where I've removed all the masking fluid off the helmet, and I'll show you how I mask up this lower cheek section, and I'll also show you applying the black. As we've only watched, I think you've only seen me airbrush one colour on. I'll go into airbrushing a bit more as well then with the mandibles. I'll show it again. We'll recap on how to airbrush. So I'll cut now to the next stage. As you can see, I've finished up peeling the helmet. It's come out really nicely. I still haven't wire wooled it yet. We'll be doing that in a bit. But we're going to go ahead now and paint the upper mandibles. For this, you're going to need yourself a plastic bag. some your detail tape, and of course your non-stick tape. I don't know if you can hear me over me rustling the bag, but what we're going to do is now, same as when we done with the dome before, we're just going to mask it up with the plastic bag to stop any black getting on the dome. So I'll go ahead and quickly do that now. Tuck the handles out. Don't have to worry too much about masking the back, it's the front we need to protect. Take your tape. Pull it off and just tape it down. Make sure there's no gap showing, so no paint will go up underneath and ruin your nice lovely green paint job you just painted on. There we get nice stuck down. Okay. So now that I've got the dome all masked up, while I was removing the tape, there's some continuation from the damage going from the green section to the black section, so unfortunately I had to remove some of that, so I'm going to have to quickly tape it up with this Winsor & Newton stuff, if the lid will come off. There we go. I'll just do that very quickly. Like I said, we've already masked up this section before we painted the green on. So it's just literally a matter of touching these little spots that we had to remove, and masking the green up. Everything else is good to go. Okay, so like I said, it's very difficult to mask outside a curve, so we're just going to mask inside this curve. I'll do on this side, but wait till that mask gets totally dry. So you're going to take your tape, a nice bit of it, length of it, okay? Can you see what I'm doing? Right, and you're going to place it down onto the line where you want the black to start, and we're just going to pull the tape and follow the contour of the groove. If you hold the helmet in a certain light, you can see the groove a bit more easily. Come to the damage, doesn't really matter where you put the tape. So continue the arc round. Use your finger to anchor the tape down, and use your other hand to pull the tape into a nice curve. Continue it down. Okay. Just gotta finish this up then. One more little bit by here. Place that over there. And you can see, nice curve we got going on. We're going to use then the thicker tape that we have. Just going to tear it off, and we'll just fill in the green section. Not being too neat with this, as long as you've got it all covered up, you're fine. Make sure you also stick it in underneath on the lip, so you don't want to be having a little black join. Okay, just fill in this last little spot, like so. Now that then is ready for the paint. So I'll go ahead now and finish up this cheek, and I'll cut to put in some black down.